Hey guys, here I am. Today I woke up and was being guided to talk about this because a lot of people still have some inner guilt recycling through their energetic bodies and subconscious mind. Guilt is one of the most parasitic energy out there. It is one of the emotions that causes stagnancy, it causes suffering, it causes lack of self-love. And it makes us feel bad about ourselves. And we're all guilty of doing something that we regretted, doing something to ourselves or to someone else. And why I'm saying that guilt is one of the most powerful parasitic energies is because it stops you from being completely happy about yourself. It stops you from growing. It stops you from being in the moment. Being in the moment, in the now moment, and being able to let go. So guilt works against us in so many ways. And what happens is that we get clogged in our physical body and it creates disease. It creates disease and it creates unhappiness. So if you're one of those people that has guilt and you're probably feeling guilty about how you're not loving yourself or feeling guilty of the past, and you're not truly forgiving yourself, because we could intellectualize that we have forgiven someone, you know what I mean? Or we have forgiven ourselves, or we could intellectualize that we're not feeling guilty about a certain thing. And this is why when you decode yourself and you know who you are and you do an inventory of yourself, you get to see the full picture of everything. And one of the things that I feel brings us guilt also is when we are decoding ourselves and we're doing an inventory and we're really looking at ourselves, we feel guilty about feeling guilty. When you're doing an inventory, let me tell you what happens. What happens is that you create an inventory of the things that you've done against yourself and you've done against other people. And people don't want to touch that subject because they're going to feel guilty. But in order for you to release guilt, you have to first feel the guilt and bring in the frequency of forgiveness. When you forgive yourself for the things that you've done in the past, when you truly emanate that frequency and you can encode it in yourself. And what I mean encode it means, okay, when I say decode, it means inventory, right? To look at yourself in the mirror. You're decoding, you're looking at the things that are not okay. Okay, this is not right here. This makes me feel unhappy. This makes me feel reactive. This memory comes up and I feel some kind of way. It could be, that's decoding for me. And so when you are decoding yourself in your guilt, it is very important that you let yourself feel the guilt without trying to intellectualize it, because your ego and your mind, which is your mind, your ego is your mind. Your ego is there to protect you. So your ego cannot feel what the heart feels. It just creates things logically. It deciphers things. It decodes things, but you need the heart, the divine mind, and the divine heart to come together in union, teaming up to transmute the guilt. But if you're not acknowledging the guilt and you're just intellectualizing because the ego's telling you, wait. If I feel this guilt's gonna make me feel like shit. This guilt's not gonna feel good. So I don't even want to go there. See, that's your intellectualizing your healing. Okay? So in order for you to heal yourself, you have to feel it. You have to feel the things that you're guilty of, that you feel guilty of, and be able to come in with the heart to forgive it. Forgive yourself. That's the only way that we can actually open ourselves up to emanate more light. Because when we are clogged with intellectualizing ourselves and our forgiveness and the way that we perceive ourselves, we're not really actually opening up our chakras, because our chakras are still full of these emotions that are hindering our vortex, our matrix. And when the people talk about pure vessel, they talk about pure vessel because it's pure energy. Okay, it's pure energy. So if you're clogged and you have these emotions running through your root chakra, guilt, fear, solar, sorry guys. So if you understand your chakra system, okay, all these chakras have something. They have something that is clogged. This is why healing is important, okay? So guilt sometimes makes us not speak our mind. Does that make sense? Okay, if you're guilty so if you're guilty of in the past of going off on your anger and not knowing how to control your vocals, how to control your words, how to not be so reactive with your words, and this was me. This is why I talk about experience, because experience gives you wisdom, right? So if you were always reactive with your vocals and always attacking with the vocals, so then there's this guilt. So what happens when the guilt comes in? Guess what happens to the throat chakra? So if it was wide open, right, because you're like, blah, 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 and it's so imbalanced and distorted because it's energy, when it's not balanced, you're just going to, just throw it out, right? So what happens to the throat chakra, it closes. It closes up. Why? Because guilt is there. You're like, damn it, I messed up. I used to go off on this person, or used to go off on my kids, or used to freaking just say the wrong things all the time. So now, because you're guilty, you're just not going to say anything anymore. So what happens to your throat, it closes up. So you're not going to be able to express yourself anymore because you haven't forgave yourself. And when you forgive yourself, you can actually be able to speak your truth without feeling hindered or feeling, guilty about the past. So you've forgiven yourself, you've let go. So the throat chakra starts to open, and you can let that energy flow. That's why it's called a pure vessel. And this is what we're trying to attain. We're trying to attain mastery. We're trying to attain us unfiltering our vortex, our energetic bodies, right? And it takes time. It's not that easy, guys. It's very challenging to be able to be true to yourself. But I'll tell you this is why we have fluctuation. We have a fluctuating grounding going on, where we feel so happy. Oh, I feel so happy. I feel so great today. And then the next year, you're like, I don't know. I just feel sad. There's just something, I don't know. I don't feel good. I don't feel like myself. The reason why is because your subconscious mind is still recycling these emotions and these programs, these ways of seeing yourself that you haven't healed. So it's just coming up for you to heal it and let it go and forgive yourself. Guilt is we're guilty about everything, pretty much. We feel guilty about everything. I feel guilty because I drank a soda today, and I know there you go. So we feel guilty about the things that we eat, the things that we don't eat, how we don't take care of ourselves. Okay, that's all good. The awareness is good, but when we are actually feeling guilty, completely guilty, and we're just feeling bad about ourselves, that's just not going to make ourselves feel good about ourselves. So we need to come to a solution where we can find balance with feeling uneasy about a situation and be able to forgive ourselves and know that we are doing the best that we can with ourselves. We're doing the best that we can with our spiritual awakening. I know I am. I know you are. I know that you're doing the best that you can today. And that you're trying every day, because we're all trying, okay? But one of the things that stops us from being completely happy is that we always want to please other people with our guilt. We start feeling guilty about saying no. If I say no to this person, I'm going to feel guilty because they want me to really do this thing. But if you don't want to do it and you don't feel like it, then there's no reason for you to feel guilty. You know what I'm saying? So we need to stop feeling guilty about every single little thing. And a lot of people can confuse guilt with just, well, I just feel very empathic. I'm very sympathetic. And that's why it's very important for us to heal ourselves and know where this is coming from, where we are reacting from. Because we're reacting from our pain body, then we're recycling the same type of situations, the same reality with people. So I really want to motivate you to really look into that, because it's very important. It says, learning to say no was one of the hardest things for me to do. It was super liberating when I started saying no, because that is self-love. You're loving yourself. And through loving ourselves, we teach other people to love themselves as well, or run from us. Because it's very intimidating, When you see somebody loving themselves, it's intimidating if you're not loving yourself. Have you ever met someone that is not loving themselves and you are starting to love yourself, and they're just like, oh, you think you're too much, or you're not really, they make you feel guilty about you loving yourself. So what do? They turn the tables around and start to tell you how you're not being nice, you're unkind, you're being mean because you're not the same anymore, and you don't help me anymore. You don't do the things that you used to do for me, so you're being so mean to me. And you're not even being mean. You're just saying no. You're just saying no to what you used to say yes to, because that yes was creating havoc in your life. That yes was creating turmoil, and that yes was creating an unhappy situation. And you were feeling what happens when we say yes to something we really want to say no to. What happens to, you guys already know what happens. Contraction. We contract, our body contracts. So when our body contracts, guess what happens to our body and our reality? We create disease. We do. We create these situations that we don't want to be in, that we are not happy in. Even with friendships, we feel guilty of letting go of the old people. I feel guilty because if they, they're going to be thinking I'm mean, I'm not kind. And, it's just mental torment. But we can teach our ego to understand where we're coming from, but that's why you have to have conversations with yourself. So I really suggest, if you really, really, really want to gain more clarity about who you are, and you want to gain more confidence of who you are, make sure that you spend some time alone. I really do recommend this. Make sure that you love your company, and if you're not there yet, you know what? Baby steps. Go out for a walk. Talk to yourself. Take a journal. Start writing the things that you really want someone else to tell you, but you tell them to yourself so that you can start cultivating love for you. And then you can be able to really let go of the things that are no longer serving you. Because there's so many things that we're holding on to because of guilt. Okay? And I've done this. I used to hold on to things that were no longer serving me energetically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, because I felt guilty, because I wanted to please the other person. So I do really recommend that we stop feeling guilty for other people and for ourselves, and we start to let go of the chains that are holding us down, and they're not letting us be our light. They're not letting us cultivate love for ourselves. Oh my God, it's really hot in here, you guys. So I know you can do it. I'm doing it every day, and every day is rebirth day to me, because let me tell you about when they say a new day. When they say a new day, you actually have new realizations. You have people like me motivating you, helping you see things more clearly, and that's a beautiful thing, to have each day that we can all motivate each other, and we can see ourselves for who we truly are, and start to let go of the things that are holding us down. Alone time has helped me, immensely getting back in touch with who I am, what I want and what I don't want in this life. No guilt. Yes, take your time, go out for a walk. You know how I fell in love with me and how I started to feeling guilt for people, for things, from my past, because I come from hurting myself. I come from not loving myself. I come from not loving other people. I come from doing things that I regretted at some point, but at some point in my life, I had to just love myself so much and forgive myself, not intellectually, but really sitting down with that part of me that felt bad for the things that I did, and just really be there for myself and love myself, and do an inventory of the things that I did that I was not so proud of, and release some tears, release some pain, and then hug myself and love myself more. And when you do this for yourself, that part of you that is longing for your attention is gonna feel so good. It's gonna feel so good because you're no longer running away from yourself. You're actually dealing with yourself. And so I love you guys so very much. May all you have a beautiful day today. We had a super upgrade last night. I don't know if you guys felt it, but I did. You can feel me. I feel really good inside. I'm not saying that I don't have bad days. I still do have some moments where I feel ungrounded, but it's a beautiful thing that is happening on earth. And I feel ignited. I feel ignited, and I want to share. I want to share this. I want to share this. I feel good. I really do feel good, guys. You guys take care. Star seeds, my brothers, my sisters, my kings, my queens. I love you. We're doing this together. And give yourself a pat on the back. Hug yourself. Love yourself. Tell yourself how amazing you are every day, and work with yourself. Delete your old crap. Start with the new. I love you guys.